It seems they're interested in getting Gen Z involved and getting us out.
But I see what they're going for. They're trying to reinvent Vice City, probably for the Zoomers, because everybody is going for the Zoomers. I don't care what industry it is. It could be entertainment, it could be food, it could be clothing. Everyone's going after the Zoomers, that generation. And I think it's a mistake in some case because you can make more money by going after a different audience. It doesn't always have to be the newest generation, but that's
Yeah,
what
Zoomers
everyone's
don't
going
have any
after.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly, Dan.
And they're not
Zoomers are
working.
broke.
Yeah, it's amazing. But I will say this: the reality of all this is that when GTA 5 was released, we were all 10 years younger, right?
Yes.
So the question is, are we being aged out from this hobby that we've had? And I will say this: there was a long time. I was probably 35, 36. And I was like, who really wants to who wants to watch a 35, 36-year-old guy play video games, right? And I will say this. I had a lot of my old business partner Sean Bolin and I butted heads on a lot of things. But I'll say the one thing that he said that was really right was your audience is growing with you, right? Your audience is growing up with you. So while you may be 35, so is your audience, right? And now my audience, I'm 42. My audience is, growing up with me, right? Now, can the same be said for GTA 6? Now, obviously, you're gonna have your core video gamers, and honestly, the gamers as a whole are getting older, as the hobby gets older. Initially, video games was something for kids, something that we all did when we grew up, and now we're all middle-aged folks, and we're getting older. So the skew of gamers is getting older. The demographics of it, from your traditional PlayStation, Xbox, home console gamers. So you wonder if they're focusing too much on the Zoomer and not putting enough focus on the people who got them to the dance.
And it could be anything, Craig. It could be Star Wars, right? Like they want to try to get the new audience, but make something new because you're going to piss off the legacy fans that will actually spend money, that have money, that are invested in it. Make something new for the newer generations. You don't have to take the existing properties and bastardize them. And that's what's happening across the board because they think those properties are valuable, and they are. But I don't think they're going to continue to get value out of them unless they go after their core audience that has, as you said, grown with them. So great point there.
It seems interesting too that they're going after the Zoomers, but they're trying to call back to a game from 21 years ago, and GTA 5 was 10 years ago. And yes, that's keeps selling. It's in the top 5. You can make the argument, well, a lot of people are getting it for online. But if that's the case, what's the point of not making the story also appeal to the people that have been with the series for that long? I mean, and then to your point, Craig, the whole question of, well, who'd want to watch a 35, 36-year-old guy play video games? Well, you think Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert ever had that predicament with, like, who wants to hear middle-aged men talk about movies?
Right.
And a lot of people did because people grew with them. And there are that moviegoer that is their age or around that age and wants to resonate with it.
Something interesting, Extra Zero, and I agree with Craig said, by the way, that we're being aged out of those games, because something very interesting that you might notice is that there seems to be a need, as Tim said, for the bastardization of old franchises that millennials and previous generations were already into, because they don't seem to be just interested in getting Gen Z involved. It seems they're interested in getting Gen Z involved and getting us out, because there seems to be this habit of taking things that are already established, like GTA. GTA is already known for being a series of games, a franchise of games that is politically incorrect. And they're turning it into something more Gen Z friendly and politically correct. So it seems that there is that need for bastardization and destroying something that's been already established.
I mean, I was 15, I think, when GTA 3 came out. I want to say I was. And, it's interesting to look back and think about the parallel there from what you just said, Dan. GTA 3 wasn't made for 15-year-olds at all. It wasn't made for kids. It referenced a lot of mobster movies that were over my head. Now, it did get me interested in watching those movies. I was like, oh, now I want to see Goodfellas. I want to see all the stuff that this movie references. And it's a shame that they can't build something that like has appeal to the people that have been with the series for a while and bring those in, that they want to exclude them because they're completely missing the mark of what made the 3D game successful in the first place to make that sort of move and force the older fans away.
Yeah, and it's like, are we saying that there shouldn't be any politically correct games? No, we're not saying that. Mm-hmm. If you want your politically correct games, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, more power to you. You have pretty much the whole Western gaming industry there for you in that regard. But GTA is something that is already regarded as politically incorrect, and that is its appeal. Right. So that it makes no sense. It's not about having politically correct games because we already have that. It's about destroying politically incorrect games. That's the sense I'm getting.
None of your concerns, man. You guys are reading way into this. But okay, here's the thing. Maybe we are.
That's what we do. We're nerds, man.
We have 2 years to talk about this. What the fuck do you want us to do? Like,
I think that there's this air of the trailer, like there's something to hide, because as I was talking about with the GTA 4 and all the GTA trailers that came before this, they gave you an idea of who the characters were, what their attitudes were, and here they're kind of being secretive about it. And in current day, are we reading into this too much? Perhaps, but this is going to be the biggest game launch of all time, more than likely. And they aren't really telling you much about the characters, and that should be a concern.
If you're reading too far into this, that's for the people who are saying, oh, the color purple is in the game, this is going to be woke, the font is like this, it's woke. Those are the people who are reading far too into it. We're really just like dissecting this trailer, honestly, and saying, it could be this, or it could be that. This is what we think, this is what we that. But we're not going, oh my God, it's purple, it's woke.
Right, exactly.
And it's not only about the trailer, too. If the trailer
Sweet
was
Baby
the only
Inc.
piece
and all
of
that,
information, if the trailer was the only piece of information that we had, but we had this context building up for years right now, and Baby Inc., Sweet Baby Inc. is involved, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. So it just confirms the sort of vibe that we're getting. Oh, hey, this is like overweight, purple hair vibes that I'm getting
on
from
a taxi cab.
Yeah, from this game, made by moms who just got out of gender studies. That's the vibe that I'm getting. And so you start getting little pieces of information. Hey, the main writer of the series is gone. Sweet Baby Inc. is involved. So the puzzle starts to make sense.
But what do you think about this? Leave us a comment down below. We read every single one of them. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button because you have found your home for common sense in the gaming and entertainment worlds.